Graduates and guests, may we have your attention, please? Convocation is about to begin. If you have a mobile device or pager with you, please turn it off or silence it during the ceremony. Thank you for your attention and congratulations. If able, please rise.
We wish to, go ahead, please. Don't let me stop you. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. Today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to work on this land. We're also grateful to have the opportunity to celebrate the achievements of our scholars who graduate today. On their behalf, let us express gratitude for the support of their families and friends, and for the faculty and staff who have guided them in their pursuit of knowledge. Whatever our own traditions, let us reflect as we proceed through the convocation ceremony on the many years of effort, sacrifice, and success that have brought us to this time of celebration. In concilium universitatis Torontonensis vocatisumus. Graduates, please remain standing. All guests, please be seated.
Insignissime cancelaria, praesento tibi hosce scholaras, ud adventantur ad gradus varios, testorque eos coad omnia quae statuta requirunt aptos ad idoneos esse.
Ad perfectum huas provinciae, huas gemaginae patriae, id ad perfectum omnium notionum, omnibus interis canentarum, ego, ex autoritate mihi, et toti universitate commissa, admitto vos ad gratos varios, quorum or vobis do et peto quoque et omnia conficiatis, munera quae ad illos gratus pertinent.
Please be seated. My name is Merrick Gertler, and it is my great privilege to serve the University of Toronto as its 16th president. Today I have the additional privilege of assisting Chancellor Wes Hall in conducting this convocation. The university is an institution with deep historical roots and many enduring traditions. Among those is our use of the language of the medieval university in today's wonderful celebration. For those in attendance who, like me, are less than fluent in Latin, a translation may be helpful. For my part, I said, "Most distinguished Chancellor, I present to you these scholars, that they may be admitted to the various degrees. And I bear witness that, as far as all things which the statutes require, they are fit and suitable." Now, much more significantly, from the standpoint of the graduating class, the Chancellor then replied, "To the benefit of this province, this great country, and to the worldwide community of nations, I, by the authority vested in me and in the whole university, admit you to your various degrees, grant to you the rights, and ask of you the responsibilities of doing all those things which pertain to those degrees." And so, as my first order of business, I'm delighted to salute you, the graduating classes of 2025 from the School of Graduate Studies and the Rotman School of Management. That is it. You are done. Congratulations. I would also like to bid a warm welcome to everyone who has joined us here in historic Convocation Hall. Graduates, today the University of Toronto is formally recognizing your hard work, your accomplishments, your perseverance, and this milestone. Each of you, as a member of the graduating class, is joining an exceptional family of University of Toronto alumni. U of T has a global community of over 700,000 alumni in 196 countries. They are the university's living legacy and our greatest ambassadors. Today, we are also recognizing Janet Ecker for her outstanding service to the university and her leadership in governance and public service as former Ontario Finance Minister and founding CEO of the Toronto Financial Services Alliance. We'll hear much more about our honorary graduand in a moment, but for now, let me simply observe that U of T alumni serve in leadership roles in every corner of the globe and in every walk of life. They are prime ministers, justices, scholars, authors, community and business leaders, scientists, and professionals of every description. Their endeavors have shaped the world we live in and the way we understand that world. We have no doubt that the University of Toronto's high international standing can be attributed to generations of dedicated and very talented faculty and staff members. But we also understand that this reputation has been built by our alumni, a group that now includes each and every one of you. So to the graduating class, let me say thank you. Thank you for your many contributions to the university while you were a student. And thank you for what you will do as members of Canada's largest and, I believe, most distinguished alumni community. One more very important word of thanks is in order. I'm sure all graduates share a sense of gratitude to the friends and family members who've helped bring them to this special day. So I would ask you to join me and the platform party in thanking them with a vigorous round of applause. Let me continue with a request. One of the distinguishing features of our convocation is that graduates come forward to be recognized individually. You'll find yourself coming up this red carpet and pausing beside the podium as your name is read and you get your 5 seconds of fame, you get to wave to your adoring fans. Then we want you to follow the red carpet over to the ramp, go down the ramp, out the door, and around the hall. And at that point, you will turn left and quietly re-enter the hall as your peers continue to be recognized. Now, in that spirit, I encourage you to think of the very last person who's going to be on this stage this afternoon. I believe it will be Wen-Ting Zhou. Wen-Ting, are you here? Could you stand up, please? So everyone, remember Wen-Ting and return to your seat. Thanks for your understanding and your assistance, and once more, my warmest congratulations. It's now my privilege to present our honorary graduand, Janet Ecker. Janet Ecker has served as Vice Chair and Chair of the Governing Council and was the founding CEO of the Toronto Financial Services Alliance, or TFSA, an organization that aims to build Toronto as an international financial services center. She is a senior fellow of the C.D. Howe Institute and sits on corporate and nonprofit boards, agencies, and advisory committees that help lift and strengthen the public interest. A former Ontario finance minister, Ecker also held the portfolios of Minister of Education, Minister of Community and Social Services, and Government House Leader. With an impressive resume, before entering public life, Ecker was Director of Policy for the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario. Her leadership contributions and public service have been recognized through honors including the Order of Canada, and she has been acknowledged among Canada's most powerful women Top 100 award. Ecker has also been named one of the most influential people in the world's financial centers. After leaving politics in 2003, Ecker continued her commitment to the public good as a proactive leader with an unwavering vision. In addition to her role at TFSA, she also established the Global Risk Institute in Financial Services, as well as the Center of Excellence in Financial Services Education, recognized by the World Economic Forum as a best practice in collaborative public-private partnerships. Her work has attracted jobs and investment to the Toronto region and helped grow the province's economy. For her outstanding service to the university as a governance leader and for her outstanding service for the public good through her contributions as a public official, Mr. Chancellor, on behalf of the Governing Council, I ask you to confer the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa upon Janet Ecker.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I have the great honor and pleasure of conferring on you, as I do now, the degree of Doctor of Laws honoris causa.
Wonderful. It's all yours.
Oh, dear. It's so wonderful to hear all of the about-to-be graduates that are yelling so lustily today. It's so wonderful that the parents brought them today, so hopefully they'll all be sitting in your seats up there getting their degrees at some point. First, let me thank U of T for this incredible honor. It's very unexpected, and it certainly means a lot, so thank you to all of you. I have given many speeches under intimidating circumstances over the years, but today ranks right up there. What do you say to a room full of talented graduates eagerly awaiting your chance to make a difference? I'm going to start with a story. My father came from a working class background. His teachers didn't consider him a good student, certainly not the kind to reach university. And he hadn't thought of it either. One day in class, a teacher asked each student to speak about what they wanted to be when they grew up. Luckily, the student seated in front of him spoke first. This guy was the typical, most popular kid in school, the football star, good-looking, seemed to do everything right. I'm sure you know the type. We all had at least one in our class. He stood up and gave a wonderful, impassioned speech about how he would save the world by being a doctor, by saving lives, curing cancer. So, Don, the teacher said to my dad, "What about you?" "Well," my dad said sheepishly, "that sounded so good, I think I'll be a doctor too." The class laughed at him. The teacher, who in retrospect was very astute, bet my dad $1 he would never make it. I know this story because Dad kept that $1 check all his life. He never cashed it, just framed it, and he hung it on the wall next to his medical degree. Not only did he finish university and med school, he became the kind of small-town family doctor we all wish we had. It was a career he loved deeply and his patients loved him back. And he has no idea what happened to the student who spoke before him. If Dad were still with us, he would chuckle about today's honorary doctorate and say, "Kiddo, that's the closest you're ever going to get to being called a doctor." I tell this story not just because it had a big impact on me and my siblings. Of course it did. But because it sums up all that advice I'm sure you heard from your parents and teachers. You know, follow your dreams, believe in yourself, work hard, get a good education, don't let others dictate your values. All wise words, and all worth living by. And today you take that first important step, getting that degree, that education, the crucial building block for success. One of the great experiences I've had here while sitting on governing council was meeting so many talented students. It helps prevent that tendency of us old folks to complain about the younger generation. You know, today's young people just don't get it, just don't get this or that, or the tried and true, well, in my day. I wish I had a list of all those I've met because they will light up the world in whatever field they choose. Now, I know some of you may not know what you want to do yet, while others will probably have it all plotted out. And that's okay. Life sorts itself out, as long as you use that education and are open to new challenges. I lost count of the many different careers I've had. None of them were really planned. All were just interesting, challenging opportunities. I actually started out to be a foreign affairs journalist, ended up being an Ontario finance minister, first woman to actually deliver a budget in the province. It was a great, unpredictable ride. And looking back on it, I wouldn't change a thing. So you may have a career plan, and you may not, and that's okay. I once interviewed an ambitious young man who was just starting out, and I asked him, I said, "What's your career plan? You know, where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years? Well, he looked at me rather oddly, and he said, "Well, what do you want to hear, my 5-year plan or my 10-year plan?" Few of us are ever that organized. And as the old saying goes, life is what happens when you're making plans. And plans, as the management consultants will tell you, rarely survive contact with reality. So don't worry if you don't know yet. Take that degree, jump into life with both feet, and it'll come in surprising ways. I once got talked into taking on a little side-of-the-desk part-time project that turned into a 12-year full-time job working with all levels of government, the Prime Minister, 2 premiers, multiple finance ministers, the financial industry, academia. And we were working together to build Toronto Region into a top 10 international financial center. And collectively, we did it. So be open to new opportunities. Occasionally take a risk. You can do that when you're young because you've lots of times to fix it if you need to. Here's another thought. A good education is merely table stakes. Hopefully you've also learned about learning because you can never stop. Track down the most important person in your field. Ask how they succeeded. Learn. I have found in my life and in watching others that it is a critical skill. I once worked for Premier Bill Davis, a very successful political leader, and I was considered young to have gotten a Premier's office job, and I must have been walking around like I was pretty hot stuff. Early on, a wise colleague pulled me into a quiet corner and said, "Remember, everything you did before you walked into that office got you this job. But the moment you walked in, none of that mattered. You need to earn the right to stay there." It was an important lesson. What mattered was how I would perform from then on, how I stepped up my game and learned new skills. Past experience helps you move up the ladder, but what keeps you there is knowing what you don't know and what you need to know for the success in each role. The known unknowns, as one political figure once put it. Some final thoughts. First, in this day of polarized public and private debate, one on just about any topic, listen to those you don't agree with from time to time. My husband is a former international journalist with some pretty firm political beliefs, let me tell you. But he continuously reads things he doesn't agree with. He likes to say you need to know what the other side is thinking. He wants to know how and why they think the way they do, to better understand, to learn. And yes, sometimes he changes his mind. I think he actually voted for me once. A journalist colleague he highly respected from another publication was decidedly at the opposite end of the political spectrum. But they got along well, regularly reading each other's columns, not because they agreed, they most definitely didn't, but because they learned from each other. And some of the accomplishments I am most proud of, inside and outside government, were achieved with all parties' support because we listened to each other. Secondly, read history, not the politically motivated treatises that warp our country's story to fit into today's trendy political opinions, but the real history, the good, the bad, the could have been better bits, but most importantly, the good. Because this country is truly a wonder, warts and all. What we have collectively built here is worth promoting, defending, and yes, fixing from time to time. It is something that others from around the world seek to join. And if we forget that, we will not defend it, and we will lose it for our children and theirs. History is also important because you aren't the first generation to face tough times, nor will you be the last. I know there are days you despair of ever building the kind of life your parents enjoyed. Yes, we do face serious challenges, but imagine what it was like to come of age when the whole world was at war during the Second World War, or trying to make a living during the economic carnage of the Great Depression, or living through the Cuban Missile Crisis when we almost blew ourselves up in a nuclear war. Draw comfort from the fact that those earlier generations faced crises too, and they survived, they succeeded, and we built what we all enjoy today. And you can and will too. Which brings me to my final thought today. Once established in your career, consider a detour and try public service, particularly political office. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and there are many ways to serve your country and your community, but throwing your hat into the political ring is worth considering. Our country at every level needs all the accomplished people it can get. Too few do so today, with all due respect to those who are currently serving. Of all my career opportunities, the most challenging and fulfilling was being an elected official, serving with another successful premier, Mike Harris. The highs were higher, and for sure, the lows were lower. But for me, it was an unmatched career, career highlight. Political life can look like a partisan nightmare, and sometimes it can be, but it also produces good things. You can make a difference in many ways, both large and small. As I mentioned, some of the accomplishments I am most proud of happened with support from others across the floor. Let me share a final story. Several years after politics, I attended a local business conference. I was in between sessions, standing in the lobby, chatting to some folks. A woman was standing to one side, waiting for my group to break up. When it did, she approached me and she said, "Minister, can I still call you minister?" She said, "You don't know me, and that's okay. But I promised myself that if I ever got the chance to meet you, I would say thank you, because you made a decision that saved my family's life. So thank you for doing that." And then she quickly turned and walked away, leaving me deeply moved and literally speechless. I have no idea who she was or what I'd done for her, but it had clearly mattered. You don't have to be an elected official or even a great family doctor. There are many ways to serve, to contribute to your neighborhood, your community, and yes, your country and the world. What you've learned here, the insights you've gained, the skills you've mastered are all incredibly great assets. Use them well, make a difference. Once again, thank you to all of you for this honor, the opportunity to speak, and thank you very much to my friends and family for helping get me here. There I go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Partha Mohan Ram. I'm the John H. Watson Chair in Value Investing at the Rotman School of Management. Please bear with us a moment as our graduating students approach the stage. We thank you for your patience. Can I go? Can I sit? Mr. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the following candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Noémie Rose Françoise Bucot. Gabrielle Cavalli. Letting Liu. Chao Yu Zhang. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Master of Business Administration. Ori Abara. Tim Abdel Khalek. Yasser Abdin. Adelola Adeg Bamiye. Ajoke Adenike Adepoju. Dare Lanre Adeyemo. Shruti Agarwal. Abhishek Agnihotri. Victor Hugo Aguiar Martinez. Ayotunde Ajayi. You want this card? Okay. Farheen Akbar. Oluvashelioka Akinjo. Sorry about that. Amos Alayande. Muhammad Mahbub Ali. Paulina Alonso Arteche. David Alter. Adedo Yinsola Abiodun Amao. Mohammad Samid Anis. Siraroj Apatha. Melissa Arbor. Almudena Arche Vega. Anahita Arora. Shriya Arora. Hunsi Ashar. Hafiz Mubin Ashraf. Slow down. Okay. Pelinchu Abcha. Muhammad Babar. He's asking me to slow down a bit. Okay. Hamid Reza Bahadur. Mehtab Bans. Vasvi Bajaj. Ritika Bajpai. Pooja Banka. Mateo Barchi. Saket Bathla. Jose Benavides Barantes. Marcus Bernardini. Rustam Bogdanov. Valeria Bonomi. Kristen Boyd. Giovanni David Briganti. Alejandro Campos Furlan. Ge Chao. Nilika Chakraborty. Natalie Chambers. Naseem Chamma. Johann Kurt Alfred Chan. Anagha Chandrasekhar. Natasha Chatur. Jupinder Singh Chauhan. Venkat Sai Manoj Chirla. Hui An Chen. Po Yu Chen. Yi Fang Chen. Ravindra Chenoju. Donnie Chung Chung Chung. Yu Ting Chue. Dae Seung Choi. Ming Yun Chu. Xiao Chu. Chase Chung. Sharon Clark. Andrew Cobb. Jonathan Cockett. Christian Coletto. Vicente Jaime Maria Constantino. Luke Court. Trixie Chue. Okay, give the cards to her. Okay. Jeffrey Cummins. Sean Simbalisti. Madeline Tacamra. Teresa D'Alessandro. Kim Tien Huang Dang. Sumitro Datta. Bezad Debu. Hansika Deepak. Nima Deghanpur. Fulvio de Iulis. Guillaume de Melville. Mathilde Dessert. Xiao Wen Ding. Monica Dozzo. Oscar Donet Gaitan. Michael Dreher. George Dresser. Jasdeep Singh Dulku. Sylvia Dwiputri. Joshua Allen Aizenga. Olafemi Peter Fabowale. Rami Fakuri. Negar Farazmand. Asir Farhan. Raquel Fernandez Costa. Henry Forer. Robin Forsyth. Bianca Fortunato, Camillo Andres Fuentes Moene, Y. Kit Fung, Thomas Galbraith, Amruta Ganu, Rachel Gerson, Alexandre Giles, Kartika Gobinath, Rachit Goyal, Maria Fernanda Gomez Mantilla, Natalia Sofia Gonzalez Tus, Stephanie Gosselin, Chanel Stephanie Grandes Italiano, C.E. Ge, Emily Joyce Gue, Akhil Gulati, Erin Gullies, Yi Je Gue, Anuj Gupta, Raghav Gupta, Rohan Gupta, Tara Habibulahi, Madeline Hallward, Chetan Hansra, Alvin Hartawan, Zarif Hassan, Yu He, Ronald Herzeg, Juan Herrera Aruaco, Christopher Hay, Alicia Hill Turner, Gaurav Hinduja, Xiang Long Ho, Chun Cheng Xie, Yu Ya Su, Xiang Yi Sui, Jing Wang, Shi Han Huang, Wei Lun Huang, Andrew Grant Hunter, Murtaza Hussain Khwaja, Emin Ibrahimov, Juan Andres Ichikawa Hara, Onyeka Ijeoma, Usman Ahmad Imam, Antonio Iavieno, Teresa Irving Kerr, Momoko Ishida, Tanzir Islam, Tushar Jain, Manjeet Jandu, Karthik Jethawa, Zijing Jiang, Aprambir Singh Johar. Astha Mary John. Akshita Jolly. Can I get some water? Thomas Chalikuriel Joseph. Thank you. Ivros Joseph. Murtaza Juzer. Kavya Kannan. Upasana Kagalkar. Heather Ryoko Kayura. David Callis. Varun Kalra. Sri Mantara Kamaraj Rupa Lakshmi. Antara Kamath. Isha Kanaskar. Paritosh Narendra Kanhe. Saryu Venkat Kantheti. Mahata Karameddin. Santosh Hariharan Karta. Farooq Nabil Sultan Kayani. Charlton Percival Aaron Kelly. Harutiyun Khachatrian. Gulrez Khan. Mohammad Ilyas Khan. Sheena Kalin Khan. Mayank Khanna. Suyash Kharel. Vidhi Radesh Khetan. Asghar Khoram. Jamie Kimmel. Kyle Robert Kirkham. Sancheta Kohli. Venkata Vinay Kolla. Crystal Kuar Singh. Mukhidin Kuchimov. Yuan Yife Kwe. Nishant Kumar. Ji Huan Kwak. Jessica Kwapis. Alexander Kiseli Chak. Busayo Ladapo. Sakshi Lahori. Deborah Ann Lamers. Hanning Lee. Hao Lee. Jui Ling Wiki Lee. Shu Lee. Hao Yang Liang. Kao Huai Lin. Scott Henry Ling. Dylan Littman. Guangxiong Liu. Jiayun Liu. Qian Liu. An Ching Liu, Xu Wen Liu, Luigi Lonoche, He Lu, Arnab Maiti, Anchal Malik, Hamza Malik, Ashley Mann, Roland Markgraf, Luca David Martini, Claudia Patricia Mayorga Araujo, Zachary Meager, Viraj Mehta, Joseph Mellum, it's too fast. Give it slow down. James Joseph Melisek, Faisal Memon, Katya Ninoska Mendieta Benzant, Rene Mendizabal, Mark Minogue, Akshita Mishra, Akira Mizoguchi, Salim Mohammed, Yuvraj Mohan, Dafna Mokadi, Vagram Movsesian, Mekhala Mukherjee, Milan Mulrain, Divya Mysore Sampath Kumar, Natasha Nahar, Edward Adamte Nanor, Evander Nanteng, Hong Ha Win, Wendy Win, Yiping Ni, Varun Nilesh, Jesse New, Joseph Declan Nolan, Emily Ellen Nunn, Onyin Yev Kuchwu Nwuba, Stephen Ofori Okai, Joseph Osas Okunorobo, Daniel Olmos Chavez, Chukwe Zuogo Onue Kusi, Maurice Chinoso Onye Kedi, Inuo Luwa Osag Bemi. Sorry. That was the toughest one so far. Olufemi Oshiyoye, Maud Ulet Sawa, Nicole Pacheco Allende, Tanmay Padhye, Ron Padilla, Yu Sheng Pan, Swapnil Arvind Pandit, Belladonna Paramaiswari, Arushi Parashar, Alfredo Marcos Paredes Calderon, Jaime Eduardo Parra Ochoa, Akanksha Patel, Hetal Patel, Sara Peloso, Rocco Paul Peña Querda, Sanchia Pereira, Ramnarayan Parsad, Lok Fung, Chandrahas Piduri, Andrew Pyle, Johanna Pinto Lee, Myra Piracha, Shomil Rupin Pujara, Zuri Shawan Powell, Tanishk Pradhan, Vinod Prasad, Luis Alfredo Prem Rodriguez, Ameya Purohit, Motashim Kazi, Hunter Chin, Kuiton Quach, Kiarash Rabi, Oliviero Radak, Sabab Rahman, Pooja Ramaswamy, Simran Rana, Muhammad Tahir Raza, Mustafa Abdur Rahman, Scott Remark, Edmundo Robles, Priya Roy, Lakhan Saddi, Taskin Sadman, Sapide Said Monajemian, Satakshi Sahni, Priyaranjan Sahu, Vidhit Sangekar, Vidisha Sarkar, thank you, Sabhyata Shashiraj, Jacob Scarfone, Shreya Sehgal. Samuel A. Sung Seo. Maria Nelsi Serangeli Silva. Andres Fernando Serrano Galvis. Subha Shaheen. Christina Bei Shang. Sonia Sharma. Ujjwal Shashikant. Faizan Shaukat. Lee Shun. Mauran Shun. Weitao Shun. Roman Shimonov. Damilola Adineke Titiola Shofo Yeke. Shraddha Rajkumar Srivastav. Ivan Sidorov. Bo Yin Sin. Kiran Singh. Naveli Singh. Vasundhara Singh. Akash Singhal. Shreya Singla. Zenon Serko. Mehtab Singh Soin. Ankita Sood. Karen Sora. Atsanan Sri Murugadasan. Samhita Srinivasan. Pratyush Kumar Srivastav. Connor Stewart. Alfonso Suarez Mead. Vaishnavi Kaushik Sudarshana. Yu Chen Sun. Kanishk Suri. Shaf Hassan Syed. Henna Hussain Tajani. Isaac James Tate. Drishti Thakkar. Priyanka Thakkar. Chi Yu Twin. Julieta Alexia Tijero Rondon. Melinda Tongdi. Yasin Tonkovsky. Vatsal Trivedi. Vayan Tse. Divyansh Singh Tyagi. Unnatpreet Kaur. Kalum Utley, sorry. Stop that one. Salvatore Utaro. Cyril Vaidyan. Ori Valen. Manuel Valverde Chacon. Pravinian Vangara. Prashant Venkat Srinivasan. Jessica Varghese. Pooja Vijaya Varghia. Mladen Vrsalovic. Jim Wang. Rudy Wang. Xiao Guang Wang. Andy Wei. Zheying Wen. Ananta Hora. Remington Willenbrecht. Emma Wilson. Karen Wonders. Samantha Wong. Joyce Wu. Shintong Xia. Na Shi. Chun Yang Shu. Chenghan Yang. Cassie Young. Hafsa Rubeya Yazdani. Tianhao Yin. Naba Yunus. Cristobal Andre Zapata de Ferrari. Huan Meng Zai. Na Zhang. Shuo Han Zhang. Yan Ming Zhang. Chun Zhao. Tianhao Zhao. Zijie Zhao. Ningwan Zong. Andy Zhao. Ximin Zhou. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degrees of Master of Global Affairs and Masters of Business Administration. Yunji Huang. Grace Zisu Wang. Candidates from the School of Graduate Studies who are being admitted to the degree of Master of Finance. Yining Bao. Devanvita Chakraborty. Matthew Chan. Colin Fleming. Kyle Gong. Bekbolot Kabilov. Daniela Frances Kirgwich. Xinyi Li. Yang Li. Hui Heng Lin. Yuning Liu. Sijia Long. Jordan Allen Luck. Taha Madni. Navpreet Kaur Randhawa. Harsh Shah. Kolia Alpha Yaya Ture. Mohammad Amin Tuzani. Dachen Wang. Zhang Wen. Fangzhu Wu. Jiahua Yang. Yang Yang. Yishu Yang. Bei Zhang. Qing Zhang. Yongzhao Zhang. Grace Zhu. The last one. Final student. Wenting Xu.
On behalf of the University of Toronto, and by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby admit all of those candidates not here present to their degrees in absentia.
As we conclude Convocation, I wish to thank all of you for your participation and your patience. To the families and friends and to those in the procession, let me say thank you. You've made this a more memorable event for each member of the graduating class. Let me thank our wonderful Chancellor, Wes Hall, for presiding so graciously over today's ceremony. Thank you, Chancellor. And let me thank as well the many other colleagues and friends of the university who participated in this program, whose names you will find indeed in the written program today. And a special shout out to our wonderful reader this afternoon, Professor Partha Mohanram. Wow. Incredible. To our honorary graduate, Dr. Janet Ecker, let me just say how you have inspired us with your lifetime career and accomplishments. And this afternoon, once again, you have inspired us with your wonderful words. Thank you and congratulations. I now invite the Chancellor to bring today's ceremony to a close.
As I bring this convocation ceremony to a close on this, your special day, I hope we'll see you often in the years to come. And I invite you to stay connected. We'll be very interested in your journey. And we know that you'll make an impact for the better in whatever path you choose. Concilium demissum est.
Thank you.